Let's get on to one of your email questions now. This one comes to us from Kelly. Again, we're talking about workers' comp issues tonight. My husband was very seriously injured at work due to a defective machine and will be in the hospital for a while. Does receiving workers' comp mean we can't file a personal injury claim? Andy?
No, not at all. And Jana touched on this earlier. You can have two cases, particularly a personal injury, or in this case called a product liability case, in addition to a workers' comp case. And the two cases, the facts are going to be similar in both cases, but the outcomes, of course, will be different. But a products liability case concerning the defective machine is going to be handled one way, and the workers' comp case will be handled an entirely different way, but they can be going simultaneously.
And in cases like this, is it common to have many layers? It's not usually just a simple case where it's just one issue.
Well, some workers' comp cases are very straightforward and just a workers' comp case. But now where Andy mentioned, that you have a products case, products liability case, and a workers' comp, that would be complicated, right, Andy? Because
yes.
Products cases, you've handled a lot of those. What is your experience with those in terms of the complication, difficulty of those? I shouldn't say complication, I should say the difficulty of those.
Well, there's a certain amount of immunity that the employer gets, and you would have to prove that the particular product that was being used that caused the injury was in fact defective, so you would have to sue the manufacturer of the defective product. You could not sue the employer. And there are lots of factors that go into those types of cases, like warranties and prior knowledge, upkeep and maintenance of the machines, and so on and so forth. But those particular cases do require a lot of investigating and a lot of work that goes into to basically determine whether the product itself was defective and whether you could sue the manufacturer of that particular product. But the workers' comp case, nevertheless, would be ongoing and would compensate the individual for the medical expenses and what we call indemnity, but the income benefits while the person is out of work, okay, while the product's case is going forward.
All right, let's get to another question. This one comes to us from Sid via email. I was hurt on the job in the middle of December, and this December's it'll be 2 years. I've been told that the time limit is 2 years from when you get your last workman's comp check. Is it from then, or is it from the date of the injury?
Well, the statute of limitations basically says you have 1 year from the date of the injury or the date of death to file a workers' comp claim. If you do receive income benefits, there is an exception. You have a year from the date of the last income benefit check, except if it's 2 years. Excuse me, it's 2 years from the date of the last income check, and it's 1 year from the date of last remedial medical care. So you do have a couple of extensions if a claim was accepted. But normally the statute of limitations runs from the date of the original injury. And if the case has been accepted as a compensable claim, then you have 2 years from the date of the last income check if the checks were paid, and 1 year from date of last remedial medical care.
How long does it typically take to get a workers' comp case settled?
Well, as Jana indicated earlier, some of them are fairly straightforward, and those fairly straightforward workers' comp cases probably an average of about 6 or 8 months.